Angel Reese has had her fair share of controversial moments this WNBA season, but this time, it's not about a viral clapback or a fiery sideline exchange. What's unfolding behind the scenes is far more serious and far more dangerous to her future than anyone expected, because while fans and media were locked onto that now infamous clipboard slap, something far more damaging was quietly brewing beneath the surface, something so big that it could derail her entire career and wipe out millions in future endorsement deals. We're not talking about drama. We're not even talking about a game. We're talking about a clear warning from the league office. A hidden clause buried in the WNBA rulebook. A technical foul count that is about to hit a terrifying milestone. And the whispers, yes, actual whispers from inside Chicago Sky management, saying they've had enough. The cameras didn't catch it. The fans didn't notice it. But those closest to the situation say Angel is walking a very fine line, and one more step could push her off the edge. Forget the slap. That was just the surface. The real problem, it's what comes next. And trust us. It's going to shock everyone. Just weeks ago, Angel Reese stood as one of the brightest, most marketable stars in the WNBA. She had endorsement deals rolling in from Reebok, Amazon, and Beats by Dre. She was headlining sneaker campaigns and walking red carpets with the poise of a seasoned veteran. Despite being just a rookie, she was being compared to Caitlin Clark in every metric that mattered: TV ratings, jersey sales, media attention, and even fan voting. But all of that changed during what was supposed to be the crowning moment of her early career, the WNBA All-Star Weekend. What began as a celebration of talent quickly spiraled into something darker and uncomfortable. Silent message sent by the fans, the league, and even some of her fellow players. Angel arrived in Vegas expecting adoration. What she received instead was indifference, awkward silence, and subtle exclusion that could be felt through every camera angle and behind every forced smile. While Caitlin Clark received standing ovations and crowd chants at every appearance, Angel's entrance into the arena was met with scattered applause and barely any reaction from the crowd. It was like the city had turned into an echo chamber of everything she feared irrelevance. But here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. Insiders claim that this wasn't just a fluke or a scheduling error. This was calculated. Behind the scenes, executives reportedly feared Angel's growing controversy factor. Between the physical plays on court, the drama with players like Alyssa Thomas and J.C. Sheldon, and the viral locker room tension with Chicago Sky, the league saw her as a liability even as her name drove millions of impressions online. While drama sells, the kind of drama surrounding Angel wasn't clean or controlled. It was chaotic. It was risky. And sponsors were getting nervous. Sources close to Reese say she was visibly emotional before the All-Star game even tipped off. She expected fanfare, maybe not Caitlin Clark levels, but at least a warm welcome. Instead, she walked into an environment that felt cold, calculated, and almost hostile. She tried to brush it off with a smile, but everyone in her circle saw it. The silence from fans, the cold shoulders from fellow players, and the minimal camera time all told a story. And it hit her hard. To make matters worse, her on-court performance during All-Star Weekend wasn't strong enough to silence the noise. She had a few rebounds, a few buckets, but nothing that shifted the narrative. The media coverage afterward didn't help either. Headlines weren't about her game, they were about who wasn't cheering, who didn't hug her, and who walked away when she entered the court. Now, questions are being whispered louder than ever before. Is Angel Reese on the verge of being frozen out by the league that once embraced her? Is her emotional style of play and public confidence being weaponized against her? And most terrifyingly, could this be the beginning of the end for her WNBA career before it even fully takes off? The tension reached its breaking point just 48 hours after the All-Star game. Angel Reese reportedly held a closed-door meeting with her personal management team, publicist, and Reebok representatives. According to a leaked insider memo, the discussion wasn't about upcoming media appearances or sneaker launches, it was about damage control. The phrase branding crisis was allegedly used multiple times for someone who built her entire professional image on being unapologetically bold. This was a moment of reckoning. Internally, the Chicago Sky front office has also begun to panic. Team sources claim that Reese's polarizing image, once seen as a marketing goldmine, is now turning into a political landmine. Sponsors that once scrambled to associate with the Bayou Barbie are suddenly reevaluating their partnerships. One regional beverage deal was reportedly paused indefinitely, while another major brand hinted at shifting focus to a less divisive face of the WNBA. Translation: they're looking at Caitlin Clark. The league, meanwhile, remains eerily quiet. There have been no official statements of support, no clarifications, and no celebration of Angel's All-Star selection in the WNBA's own media channels. Fans online began noticing this and started asking, why is the league treating Angel Reese like a problem they want to disappear? And then came the twist nobody expected. Late Tuesday night, just days after All-Star Weekend, Angel Reese posted a cryptic story on Instagram. It was a black screen with just 5 words in white text. Sometimes silence says it all. Within an hour, speculation exploded. Was she talking about the fans, the league, her own team? The comments section turned into a war zone. Some defended her, calling out the WNBA for failing to support one of its most impactful young stars. Others mocked her, saying she brought it on herself with her attitude and constant drama. But behind the scenes, it was much more serious than anyone realized. A close friend of Angel's told a source that after the All-Star nightmare, she's genuinely considering stepping away from the WNBA entirely. The phrase used was chilling. She feels like they want her gone. That's not just frustration. That's the sound of a 22-year-old superstar questioning her place in the very league she helped popularize. Reebok, blindsided by the backlash, has reportedly called an emergency meeting with Reese's management to decide whether she should scale back public appearances or even pause all on-court promo campaigns to reduce negative attention. And according to an insider at the WNBA Players Association, conversations have started about the league's responsibility to protect young black female athletes from being silently blackballed for not fitting a corporate mold. So now the WNBA faces an uncomfortable question. Is Angel Reese simply misunderstood, or is she being systematically pushed out? And more importantly, if she walks away, what message does that send to every outspoken, emotional, and bold player who follows her? This is bigger than basketball now. Angel Reese is not just a player going through a rough patch, she's a young woman facing the collapse of everything she's built. From being hailed as the face of the new WNBA to being publicly humiliated, booed, benched, and now possibly walking away from it all, this is a moment that will define her life. But it doesn't have to end this way. That's where you come in. Right now, Angel Reese needs to hear from her real supporters. Not the ones who only showed love when the lights were bright. Not the ones who switched sides the moment things got messy. The real ones, the ones who still believe. The ones who still ride for her. The ones who see the fire in her heart, even through the tears. If you're watching this right now and you've ever cheered for Angel Reese, now's the time to show it. Tap the center of your screen, yes, right there, and drop your support in the comments. Let her know she's not alone. Let the league know you still care. Let the world know this isn't the end, because what happens next depends on all of us. Should Angel retire? Should she fight back? Should the WNBA take accountability? Or have the fans failed her? This is your moment to speak out. Comment below. Subscribe if you stand with her, and if you're truly with Angel. Share this video now. Let them all see what real support looks like, because no matter how loud the boos get, love always speaks louder. As the days rolled on after her cryptic Instagram story, the storm around Angel Reese didn't calm. It escalated, and fast. What started as whispers of concern behind the scenes soon became public spectacle. TMZ dropped an explosive report. Angel Reese had allegedly skipped a mandatory post-All-Star sponsor event hosted by the league and attended by several major WNBA partners, including Nike, Google, and State Farm. Sources claim Reese refused to show up due to emotional exhaustion and lack of league support, but WNBA executives were reportedly furious. One insider said that was the last straw. The league feels like she's becoming unmanageable. It was around this time that a shocking internal email from a Chicago Sky assistant coach leaked, and it lit social media on fire. In the email, which was never meant to go public, the coach wrote, "We can't keep tiptoeing around Angel's moods. She's either committed to the team or she isn't. We've got a roster full of women busting their tails every day without the drama." The backlash was immediate. Fans interpreted it as a betrayal. Media pundits debated whether Angel was being unfairly singled out. And worst of all, it further validated the growing theory that not just the league, but her own team had turned their back on her. But the real explosion came when Reebok's internal marketing deck was leaked to the press. On one slide, under a section labeled Q3 Risks, Angel Reese's name was listed next to the words, Negative Public Sentiment, Declining Likability, Public Controversy Risk. That's right, her own brand partner flagged her as a liability. And then, she vanished. For 72 hours, Angel Reese didn't post a single thing on social media. No TikToks, no tweets, no Instagram stories. For a player who had built her brand on being visible, loud, and present, it was deafening silence. Then came the bombshell. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith broke the news on national television that Angel Reese had missed team practices without explanation, and insiders believed she was seriously evaluating whether to take an indefinite break from the league. He added, "Let me tell you something right now. If the WNBA allows Angel Reese to walk away because they didn't protect her, didn't market her, and didn't support her the way they should have, they're making the biggest mistake in league history. Period." The internet exploded. Fans began trending hashtags like #ProtectAngelReese and #LetHerSpeak, while others launched campaigns urging her to take care of her mental health. Caitlin Clark's name even started trending, not because she did anything, but because users were comparing how differently the league and sponsors treated her in contrast to Reese. And just when people thought it couldn't get more intense, Angel's mother posted a quote on her Instagram. "You can only carry the weight of the world alone for so long." Was Angel Reese about to leave it all behind? The reaction to Angel Reese's downward spiral was swift, divided, and emotionally charged. The moment Stephen A. Smith revealed Angel had skipped to practices and was considering stepping away, social media erupted. Twitter became a war zone. On one side, #StandWithReese began trending worldwide as fans, athletes, and celebrities poured out messages of love, concern, and support. Cardi B tweeted, "Mental health comes first. Don't let these leagues break you down, Angel." Jalen Rose added, "Angel Reese deserves grace, not scrutiny. Period." Even Shaquille O'Neal, who had mentored Angel since her LSU days, made a rare, emotional video post. "You don't break diamonds under pressure, you make them. Angel, you are a diamond. Take the time you need. We got your back." But not everyone was sympathetic. Several media outlets ran brutal headlines. Angel Reese becoming the WNBA's Kyrie Irving? Reese, talent can't excuse immaturity forever. Fox Sports' Jason Whitlock went on air and said, "Angel Reese is a brand risk now. This isn't about race. It's about attitude, professionalism, and being coachable." And that triggered a whole new firestorm. Many fans and activists began pointing out the double standards. Memes comparing Reese's emotional outburst to the league's soft handling of other stars, particularly white players, went viral. TikTok creators dug up clips of Caitlin Clark's past frustrations and sarcastically captioned them, "Passion," then contrasted them with Angel's actions, "Problematic." Meanwhile, WNBA insiders remained silent. The Chicago Sky issued a generic statement saying, "We support all our players through personal challenges, but no coach, no teammate, no league executive publicly stood by Angel, at least not by name." And the sponsors, that was perhaps the most telling part. Reebok paused all Reese-related campaigns for the remainder of the quarter. Target quietly removed Angel Reese-branded merchandise from its front-page WNBA section online, and one brand insider, speaking anonymously, told a sports business podcast, "She's becoming too unpredictable. In this market, that's deadly. Brands want consistency right now. She's chaos." It was clear the tide had turned. What once was a media darling, a college phenom, a brand icon for a new era, was now being dissected, doubted, and distanced from. But then, in the middle of all this chaos, a shocking new twist emerged. Just when it seemed like the drama had reached its peak, a leaked audio recording exploded across the internet. And this time, it wasn't just about Angel's attitude or mental state. It was about betrayal. In the leaked audio, allegedly captured during a closed-door team meeting, a voice that insiders say belongs to assistant coach Barbara Parker can be heard saying, "We built everything around Angel, and now she's acting like we owe her something. She's not bigger than the team. If she can't handle the pressure, maybe it's time we move on." The room went silent. The audio ended there, but the damage was instant and nuclear. Fans didn't know what was worse, the team talking behind, Angel's back or the possibility that internal voices were plotting to oust her. Suddenly, hashtags like #FreeAngelReese and #ChicagoSkyLeak were everywhere, but the drama didn't stop with the coaches. Just hours after the leak, Angel's mother tweeted and then quickly deleted this chilling line. They begged her to save the franchise. Now they want to bury her. Don't let them. That post alone sparked over 15,000 retweets in 10 minutes. Rumors began swirling. Was Angel about to request a trade? Was her mental breakdown triggered not just by all-star backlash, but by something deeper, something inside the team? And most importantly, was this entire scandal orchestrated to destroy her image before contract renewal talks in the offseason? Suddenly, this wasn't just a story about an emotional outburst. This was a conspiracy. Whispers inside the WNBA said Angel was on the verge of calling a press conference. Some claimed she'd expose everything: the mistreatment, the manipulation, the double standards not just in the Sky organization, but across the league. Others insisted she was going to quietly walk away and never touch a WNBA jersey again. And now, the entire sports world is holding its breath. Will Angel Reese finally speak out? Or will she vanish, leaving only silence and a career that could have been legendary?